In Final Destination 3, they show the pictures of the tower, and then there's a shadow of the plane on.
Death did 9/11. I think Bush did.
Hello, and welcome to the LostNFaded podcast, where we get faded and lost into whatever movie I'm filming for the week. This week, Final Destination Bloodlines, with me, Byron, and Colleen and Megan.
Hi.
So sit back, roll up, and relax as we talk about this. It's a pretty scary movie.
She's gory.
Just gory.
It's gore, yeah.
Yeah.
And like suspenseful for sure.
Yeah, it's like suspenseful.
I definitely was tense sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the movie before we get into like the characters and plot?
Well, I told them to, but this is my first Final Destination movie, so like...
Awful start for the one to
I mean, I know the premise of the movie, so it's just like stupid shit, chain reactions, it kills you. So...
There's a little bit more.
There is more lore, I would argue,
Okay.
at the beginning
Okay,
of
fair.
movies.
I haven't seen them, so...
Before you saw it, I was like, I feel like this is a good starting point. But then after while watching it, I was like, I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of context missing if you were to just see this one. Like, you can understand, like, okay, maybe why death is the way that it is and acts the way it does with these characters.
Because, yeah, that's something I'm finding is that Death is an actual character, and I didn't realize that.
He's kind of petty in this
Oh,
one, too.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. That man was for real coming for blood. Bloodlines.
Yeah, and so in this Final Destination movie, it covers a family instead of like strangers or a group of friends. It's because the grandmother prevented a huge...
Disaster from happening. Like, she had a premonition.
Yeah.
And this is also the only Final Destination where the person saved all the people. Because usually they save like a group of people, but people still die.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, this one was very different. So as I roll up, we can get into the cast and stuff. We should start with Iris, I think.
Yeah.
So she's the grandma who had the premonition about this sky view tower like collapsing and breaking down.
Which I understand things weren't as...
Structurally sound. It was
Not even. Things were more structurally sound in the 1950s.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
They were
like,
using real material.
What building codes like did they have in place that was allowed? Like you didn't check. Also, just in the beginning, like I just kept going, oh my fucking God. Like, okay, we're putting more than 8 people on the elevator. That's not smart. Oh yeah, the doors aren't closing. Maybe we should let a couple people off.
You look at the plaque that says the pound
fuck-ass-
limit, like, and it's like 6 to 8 capacity.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That fuck ass little kid.
he should have died
That-
from the beginning.
yeah, I really did not like him.
No.
He was fucking around too much. He was pissing me off.
Dude.
Let's get to more of it at Faded Talk.
Okay.
Wait, I have a realization about this. He conjured death with his evil ass spirit.
Yeah.
Because you know how, like, the fucking security guy come over, or like he came over and he was like, don't throw that penny, you're gonna kill somebody. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Goes to proceed to throw it anyways.
Yeah.
He had that evil intention in him, which is where obviously, like, this penny holds such a good grasp.
Symbolism.
For real. Like, Byron, don't laugh, because that was like, that was the
I
literal
agree
beginning
about
of
it.
the end.
I want to talk more about this in Faded Talk. I want to get into Iris.
Oh, okay.
Because I really enjoyed the actress who played Iris. I feel like I cared more about Iris in the past than I did for any of the other characters in the present.
Yeah.
And I feel like she kind of killed it on the opening, and then we go to these other characters that are less emotional than she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's like she wasn't in it to just save herself because she could have easily just like gotten
Dipped
her
out, yep.
fiance and been like, we need to leave right now.
Yep.
That's
She,
usually
like-
what they do.
Yeah. And
Yep.
so she runs out and like tells everybody, hey, like you're all gonna die. You need to stop. And like doesn't care that she's gonna be getting dragged away for it. So it's like
Really?
you can tell that she has a strong sense of morality and that she like
Has a lot of emotions behind
cares
this.
about
yeah.
people.
She's
And wants
empathetic.
safety.
And then older Iris is more, she's a recluse. She's watchful of death.
She's paranoid, but not, you know?
Yeah.
She's seeing all this shit happen in real time as these years go on.
Yeah.
Could you blame the woman for being crazy?
No.
She wasn't wrong.
She watched her husband die. probably.
Literally.
That's crazy.
And then to put the pieces all together of all the people that were there at the Skyview that day and how
See, that should have been
They all
the
slowly
movie.
died.
That should have been the movie, is the prequel where it's following young Iris watching all these people die from the tower.
that would have been crazy.
So then we go to the main character, Steffi, who's, Iris's granddaughter. And Steph, she's all right. She's relatable to a point, because there's some points where you're like, yeah, I would be sad as fuck right then.
Yeah.
But other times I feel like she's just there. She's just there
Yeah.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Obviously, her role is important, though, because from the beginning, like, she's having the premonition. So, like, she takes after her grandmother in that way. And everybody in the family is like, girl, you're crazy, until people start dying one after one. And it's just kind of like you said, like, she's there sometimes. So, like, it's not a standout role when I'm like, you're technically the protagonist.
But she more or less puts the pieces of the puzzle together, as opposed to like being the main picture itself.
Valid.
And sometimes it's not her fault that she's not hopeful. It's just people are doing dumbass shit.
Yeah.
And not listening to her.
Like her fuck ass cousins.
Yeah, all three of them.
Especially the girl.
Oh my god.
You deserve that. You deserve to get your head fucking smashed, compacted in the back of that dumpster truck, bitch. Rude. I said what I said.
I'm not disagreeing. And then I think the last character I want to talk about before Faded Talk is Charlie, who's her younger brother. He's pretty decent. I feel like he's like the most emotional like standpoint in the movie, where you're like, damn, I feel bad for Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, because he's young.
Yeah.
Like, he's still in high school. And you're still emotionally immature.
And he had like obviously like an innocence to him where like you wanted to protect him and be, like root for him and make sure that like he remained okay throughout the movie. And, like, even though he was a little like angsty in the beginning. But...
Yeah, and he also is connected the most with the cousins. Like, that's who he's cool with. Instead, like, not with his sister, who's just kind of disappeared on all of them.
Yeah.
She goes, oh yeah, hey guys, by the way, gotta go bye, gotta go talk to your dad. Oh, you don't have the question I need? Cool, where's your mom?
Literally.
Like, she was off at college, they're all like so excited to see her, and she's like, yeah, cool, all right, what? I need this thing from you.
Also, imagine I would be tweaking like that too. If I was having nightmares like that, the same nightmare every night. Where it's that horrific and like
to 1 week. She 2 months?
Yeah, no, she was letting that go on for too long.
Yeah,
I would have.
I was sort of questioning it the second or third night
Don't
it
you have
happened.
a school therapist? Like, try to get on the wait list for that at least. Like,
Why did we try to contact someone sooner?
like, you can't talk to your family. Like, why? Why 2 months? Absolutely not.
Nope. I also will say I get they had a lot to cover with the deaths, but like how quick it was, like, had this premonition, oh my god, I need to figure it the fuck out, like to immediate, like, there was almost, I feel like it would have been cooler if there was a little bit more build up with her having these nightmares, like over time of it seeing like getting to her schoolwork and getting to her, and like
there should have been more family members. I feel like
that too,
like 2 more maybe.
Yeah, maybe she had another sibling, or there was another,
But also,
a strange sibling.
the whole college thing was dropped.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Did she just not go back?
just didn't touch on it.
No, she was
She lost her scholarship, I bet. I mean, she's dead.
I mean, yeah. but then again, the time frame from when that like conclusion happened to when, like, obviously they were like, oh wait, we'll have to get to that point because we're already skipping the end.
I'm gonna finish rolling out so we could get to the Faded Talk.
Slay. Favorite time
What
of
were you
Byron.
saying, Megan?
All right, like when they came to the conclusion, oh my god, I died, like my heart stopped, like blah blah blah, and then Jude was like, you didn't really die, like I feel like there was no in between time, but then like dudes going to prom,
But you just asked the girl.
and it was like,
They didn't really tell us how far, like, how long it was between that shit happening and the prom.
I feel like it was
to when they died.
each time there was an accident that was like a new day. And like the way I just interpreted it. Because it's like you had Iris, and then they all got together for the funeral, and then they had the barbecue, and then Howard dies, and then from there you have the oldest cousin.
See, I'm giving it even like a week or two in between all of these events.
But at one point she emailed one of her professors.
I think it was like bam, bam, bam.
Because that's crazy to think about, like, oh, you just died, cool, we're having a kickback.
That was a crazy kickback.
Barbecuing, like, to them, I'd be like, you bitches are not mourning?
Also, let me just say, that one cousin has never worked in food in his life.
No.
Not a food industry, not food certified, does not have a food handler certificate, has never had one.
Fuck you,
don't-
you break the glass,
Broke
don't touch
the glass and you didn't check the ice for anything.
No.
You dump that shit, all of it out.
You clean that, and then what are we doing? You could have prevented your father's death for a little bit longer.
Bobby was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumber than a box of rocks.
Well, but then I just feel like he's just a gullible little guy. Like he was just because he was the youngest. He's the most
dumb, but he's like a sweetie. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, bless his heart. Like that's the energy.
Like,
he gives.
Steve, your dad didn't have to die if you just cleaned up the ice.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, you look at their house, you know that person has not worked a food industry job. So.
They had that shit set up in the backyard.
And then they were like, we had to move because I'm like, well, lucky that you can just do that. We had to move so Iris would stop contacting us, girl. And you had to get this like huge ass house. Okay.
and like to touch on too, like Iris's like nonstop communication with them type thing. Like respectfully, that's your mom. Like,
Yeah.
Like. You're not even hearing her out. Like I get shit got crazy, but also like we really don't believe her.
I don't know. I'm down for believing people, but also like it gets to a point, you know.
And I think like, oh, if that's my mom, I'd be like, chill, bitch. Like, what are we doing?
She's locked in the house, no school, no nothing, yelling at them.
Well, and then that rubbed off on to Steph's mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. It's like, so you just absolutely repeated the cycle.
Yeah.
Except you left
Yep.
earlier.
Which I would argue was probably worse. Hear me out. Go to therapy.
That's like what I'm saying. Like so many of these issues could have been resolved with a quick little therapy sesh.
True. Put that mom in therapy. Instead, they just let her do that safe house. What's that safe house is the most unsafe safe house I've ever seen.
Bro.
But like on the
outside, all the spikes and shit, and there was like canisters of like gasoline and shit.
I'm like, okay, do the mountains not get any high winds that would knock that like I'm sorry.
You're fine.
That would knock that through your house?
Well, and I guess because she has premonition, she knew how she was gonna die though. So like
That's valid because she didn't leave the cabin.
Yes, and then immediately like positioned herself and was like, all right, seeing is believing, bitch.
Which I would be pissed as hell if my grandma did that.
Yeah, she basically killed her family with that move. She could have like avoided it and been like,
You're not wrong.
we could have delayed it. You could have had time to look at my
Wasn't
stuff.
she trying to do this the whole time, was protect them to where death wouldn't come after them?
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
then
get-
she just kickstarted it.
I get she was gonna die of cancer, but she could have gave what's her name time to look at the book, see this shit, look it up, and then maybe you die, and then maybe she starts to see it, and then she knows what's going on.
Because realistically, Iris probably could have went outside, given her the book, just said, please read that, run back inside and go, just please read it. And you know what? At one point, Steph would have gone crazy enough that she did start reading it from her dream. So...
because if these fucking nightmares are taunting you for literal months, like at this point, fuck it, I'm gonna read the book. I'll read it. I'll put the pieces together. Fuck it. And then at least she had little pre-warning to like, okay, shit, death is about to happen. And then, I mean, I get she tried to tell the family too, like prior, and they're like, yeah, sure, bitch. And then dude actually dies, and they're like, wait a minute.
Well,
What if she's right?
It took 2 deaths for them to like believe her.
well, because honestly, I understand like where their grievances with them getting upset after her being like, "No, guys, look at this." Like if my husband had just died,
Or my dad, like,
I would have been like, "What the fuck?" Can we talk about how Howard wasn't? What was his name?
Oh,
The
Eric's
oldest dad. Yeah.
That was a crazy twist.
That was crazy too.
And the crazy thing is, Death was just being petty, but trying to like,
Fuck with him.
yeah.
Well, because in retrospect, he saw dude blocking him being able to get to the younger brother. So he's like, fuck it, you're coming down too, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
That and the tattoo parlor part.
Yeah.
That
there was like a little tease, but even then, why didn't he think twice about that? Of
Him walking out with the fire department T-shirt. He's like, "I'm fine."
walking home the next morning, like,
Almost gets hit by Steph by the car.
I like him as a character. He was really funny.
He was a good comic relief.
Yeah. Him and Bobby, definitely some of the top Final Destination characters, I feel like. Because a lot of them are just like annoying people.
Well, because I'm sitting here being like, you're fucking stupid. That's all I was thinking.
like
during the
Julia
movie.
was annoying.
Oh,
She definitely deserved that death.
fuck yeah, she did.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm paranoid. If somebody was telling me, hey,
Yep.
you're gonna die, I'd
Yep.
be like,
Cool.
honestly, they might be onto something.
I'm gonna be like grandma and stay the fuck inside.
No, literally, I'm gonna be like, give me that book. I'm gonna read up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna chill out.
Where are my
Literally.
premonitions?
I'm gonna lay low. Get away from me. Nobody come by me.
Literally. As soon as all that happened, they just locked Bob or Julia or someone into that safe house.
No, literally.
Shit, whole family moves in. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Safer in numbers.
We're having a barbecue out there in the mountains.
Death can't get us in this incredibly secure home.
So how do you guys feel about the kills?
Extra, but
I
Final Destination. So
Yeah.
some of them are. I like some of them. I like the MRI one.
That was crazy.
That was really
that
good.
one was crazy.
I do like the garbage compactor one too. I like how ironic it was, especially in the background when you
Yep.
saw everything go off.
Like, right after she just goes.
Yep.
Guy with the leaf blower could blow leaves in the kid's face, and then the soccer ball could hit someone. And that, all of it exactly happened. So
My biggest problem with the kills were the CGI.
Yeah.
yeah,
They used to be really good practical kills.
Yeah.
And
That's valid.
like- now it's just like CGI mess. When I saw Julia's face as it's getting crushed, I was
Yep.
like, no.
Like, I'm with you, Byron. That part could have been done a lot better. But also, like, there is no practical, like, anymore. Like,
There's some practical stuff.
far and
there.
few between. Because I feel like
In Wicked-
everything has CGI.
in Wicked, there's a lot of practical effects. I'm just gonna say that.
Like when Galinda comes down in the
Like
bubble,
the goat is definitely real.
that hot snow leopard,
Yeah, that's sexy snow leopard.
he's real.
They still do practical in horror movies now. It's just how
It's
much
few
money
and far
do you want?
between. Yeah.
Yep. I can always appreciate the practical though, because it's like somebody is specifically tasked to make this dummy head of this actor so where they can use it in this scene to fucking explode it and
Literally.
make it look legit.
And all those kills could be done with practical effects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Because they used to do stuff with
yeah.
it.
I'm like, they could have created a fake Julia head. They definitely could have did a Bobby. They could have had him practical death. But also, those last 3 deaths, I don't like them.
Bro, because it was just boom, boom.
Stuff like Charlie's death pissed me off.
Well, because why did
I
they...
was so mad.
I feel like, I guess it's like, oh, they died the same way as their mom. Like, they both got hit by fucking wooden poles and got smashed. But,
Yeah.
like, is that why they did it? Like,
To start with the train derailment, like the accident, and then
why
that.
didn't you have
It
them
was a
get,
little
like, stuck
much.
on the tracks or some shit? Like,
Yeah.
you had her stuck with the seatbelt and everything. Like, she died and, like,
It was-
do
yeah.
better.
Over it.
And originally, the mom had a different death. They did reshoots.
Really?
She was supposed to die in the revolving door at the hospital.
Oh.
It's in the trailer.
Oh.
But I think it was supposed to be like a quick death. So it would be like, oh, she just died. And there was no
Gone.
point in having her character.
And they're like,
Yeah.
fuck, maybe we should elaborate more.
have her save one of them or some shit.
Or, like, maybe that was before the full, like, thing was shot and they didn't do,
Yeah.
like, the order yet.
Yeah, I think they did like test screenings and then they were like,
Which is also a concept I forget about. And that's the crazy part, too. Like, there's so many steps prior to films. And why do most of them suck? This one
that's
wasn't.
a bigger talk that we could get into. We're still recovering
Because
from the
they're not
writer's
using-
strike.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
From the one in 2008.
Yeah, and the one a few years ago. It's just, and COVID. It's all that
All of
stuff they're
them.
still recovering from.
Rough.
Yeah, that ending was rough. I did not like the ending at all.
Also, what was up with his date wearing the dress that Iris had?
It was a callback to the beginning because the car drives over the tracks.
Yeah,
the
Right.
red
Well, I knew
car.
that, but, like, why was she wearing Iris's dress? That's what I didn't get. Like, I understand the rest of it,
Just
but,
bringing
like,
it back into style.
like, how does she have that?
I didn't know
exact same dress.
It was specifically hers? Like the
It
same.
looked exactly the same.
I
to
thought
me.
it was a little different.
Maybe.
But no.
I think it was basically the same dress.
Well, I know it was the 1950 styles esque. Like
It just pissed me off because, like, what?
It's
we were
death
doing
fucking with them.
we were doing a full circle moment.
Well, that would only be fucking with. Or no, I guess they had the picture because I was like, that would only be fucking
And
with
the
stuff.
penny,
But,
the penny comes back.
Yep.
That penny was on a mission.
bro,
It's like that chef wear decam, bro.
but I love Chef.
Also, yeah, fuck that kid.
Fuck that kid.
That
Yeah.
kid was doing too much.
Fuck that kid.
You know, shout out Iris for going up to him and grabbing his little hand.
Dead ass. I would have threw his ass over. I'd be like, here, Death. Stop killing everybody else. I'll
Here's a
sacrifice this child.
sacrifice.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, that kid.
He fell. I don't know what happened.
And Death got back to him, and he died in a piano accident as an adult. Yeah, there's like a newspaper thing.
Good. I was trying to read some of them too, like towards the end, like where it zooms
Did they
in.
all die like how they were supposed to die?
Similar ways, because Iris
Essentially-
had a pole through
Yeah,
her
she
mouth.
got her shit impaled, her face.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then if he died by a piano. So I think it was probably, however, like a similar death to whatever they had. Maybe some of them died 9/11.
In Final Destination 3, they show the pictures of the tower, and then there's a shadow of the plane on.
Death did 9/11. I think Bush did.
She said, don't blame it on Death. That was literal President Bush.
In the Final Destination universe, that's what happened. Did you guys like the first, or the disaster? The tower one?
It pissed me off. Like I said,
Oh, the kid, yeah.
not even the kid, but just like the whole like domino effect of everything. Like I said, did they not have building codes in the 1950s? Was OSHA not around yet?
This was also your first
No.
one, so you didn't see any of the other disasters.
I know, but also it's just like
I'm going to say,
disaster movies are predictable.
I will say out of the whole Final Destination universe, my favorite is still, unfortunately, the girls that got locked in the tanning bed and got burned to a crisp. It's the one that always sticks with me, just the same way that people, like when you see a log truck, you're associating it with the Final Destination. Or also, another thing, speaking of, in comparison to the other movies, they didn't play Dust in the Wind in this one.
No, they didn't. They played, I forgot what the other
Ring
song.
of Fire
Yeah.
by Johnny Cash, and there was another one. But I'm also like, anytime I hear Dust in the Wind, I think Final Destination and Death is knocking on my door.
Do you start freaking out?
A little bit.
You're like-
You get that cold shiver, and I'm like,
You see a kid flipping a penny.
fuck.
I would go.
Literally, give me that.
So overall, what did you guys like about the movie?
I liked that it was kind of campy. Go ahead.
The older cousin, brother, I don't remember his name.
The one with the Prince Albert piercing.
You're,
Yeah, Eric was. He was a really good character.
like you said, he brought a good like comedic relief too.
Yeah.
When he started playing
The film.
his sad playlist.
Yeah. He's the black sheep of the family. He's relatable.
yeah.
He was more relatable than Steph, you know?
100%.
When he found out about his real dad, he just laughed every
Is
time.
that why he wanted to play catch?
I was like, damn.
That was crazy.
I'm just dead that they just dropped that in the movie and then barely touched on it again.
Yeah.
Other than the fact of like, I'm not your brother, I can't die. But it's like, no.
Which it's like,
If you mess with death, he's gonna kill you.
yeah.
I might have missed it when I was going pee. Where did the mom go?
Oh, she just cried after the Eric thing. You don't see her anymore.
Like, plot hole.
She wasn't gonna die.
I know, but like,
The dad
you know
went
about your
missing
kids and
too.
shit?
The dad went missing too. He never came back. He didn't care about it. They were like
Dad was at the end.
at the end, but like he disappeared for like a huge chunk of the movie.
Well, yeah,
They were at the
because
hospital.
they were like, oh, just tell him we're gonna be with mom.
I'm like, you guys are dying. If I'm not dead, I'm going after it. See
Yeah.
what's going on. But I don't know. He was freaking out. His ex was back. He did not like this.
He was stressed.
Yeah.
He was over it.
He's like, this is for the kids.
It's like
This
my
is for the
daughter's
kids."
going crazy. I don't know what to do.
He's like, this is Crash Out if I've ever seen it.
Personally, this is like one of my top disasters in the Final Destination movies. I think the second one's still my favorite.
It makes me scared to go to like a Skyview thing now.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because I've done that.
Yeah,
before.
nope. Don't fuck with heights anymore. Over that. Past that.
I
like the
love
ground.
the views and so you said I love the ground.
Love
Okay,
the ground.
Katy Perry.
But I mean it. Like I can be on a mountain if like it's a solid mountain ground, you know. Like I can do that height. But if I'm in a man-made
Yeah, but then what if
structure-
there's like an avalanche or like
Yeah.
a mudslide? Like
Don't
you
do
can
that.
still die
That
on
could
the
be a
mountain.
different
But yeah,
disaster.
but I'm not in the air and I don't have the potential of on the ground. That's my gripe.
Death will get you
See,
if he wants to
But
get you.
girl, he can. But at some point, I need to live my life a
What's wrong
little
with
more.
me that I just went and watched this movie and I'm like, I still kind of want to go skydiving.
Nope.
How high would you guys get for this movie?
We're gonna need more than 5 bong rips
I
for
never
sure.
limited it at 5.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know if I'd
minimum.
want to be too high.
I think I want to be ripped.
Okay, so here, this is
makes-
this is my gauge. If you enjoy horror movies, I'm gonna say fucking 10. Get rip roaring high. But if you're an avid smoker, you don't like scary movies, I'm gonna say keep her at like a 2 or 3. Don't tweak yourself out.
That's a big range.
I'm going to say 5.
5?
Kind of right in the middle.
I do like horror movies, but this isn't necessarily horror in my opinion. Like it's more.
4.
It is, but it's like just a lot of gore, and like I notice when I watch movies with gore, I tense up.
When her ring got caught.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
No.
ouchie,
No.
ouchie, I bet that hurt. So yeah, so I feel like 5 would be good for me for this movie.
Yeah, we get a 5 to 10. I like that. That's a little
5 to 10 is crazy.
I don't know.
Talk about my wide range, like the wide range of.
Yours would have been 3 to 10.
Because to me, this is a very specific. Like, not a lot of people like horror or scary movies. Like, it's.
Yeah.
And if you get too high, like I feel like some of this could freak you out. If you're a little baby stoner, like
What are you trying to say about me?
Damn.
It doesn't. I just gore because I.
But I'm
okay,
not saying
I don't
like
know
you're
if
scared
it's,
of like you'll tweak yourself out.
I don't know if it's a disorder or something.
What? No. It's
No,
just,
when I watch. Hello, Death.
Just continue.
Hello, Death.
I think I hit it with
When
my
when I watch body horror, it makes me tense up. Like I feel it in my body, and I already have fucking pain in my body, so it's like I have to like actively when I'm watching those movies be like, okay, unclench your hands, unclench your jaw, like you're not in this.
I feel like that's like a given too with like most suspense movies. Like you're kind of like on the edge of your seat where it's like I get what you mean in like you're specific to the body horror. Because it's like what is he about to do? What is the next death? Who's dying? Like, and of course it didn't really necessarily go in the order that we thought it would either. So it's
Because when you fuck with death,
death comes knocking,
It
bitch.
gets messy.
He
it's
said,
messy.
"What the fuck is up, Kyle?"
All right. Oh, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy. Bye.
Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below.
Bye.
Bye.